And we're back.
Wow, Wednesday number two.
Yes, sir.
I'm
Good to
so
see you,
stoked
man.
about this. This has been such a blessing. It's a great idea.
Yeah, yeah. This is for me the most exciting thing right now is setting real goals, real intentions, and then having the accountability and checking in. It's freaking great.
Yeah, yeah. I can't even emphasize as much how much joy comes out of me when I'm like looking forward to these calls now because it really just gives me a platform to share and to just have like, someone to share the journey with. It's awesome. It's awesome. Whatever small
Yeah,
wins or intentions that we both set, the fact that we're sharing it together, I love it.
me too. I'm so excited to build the community as well to get more people involved and just knowing that it's accessible to so many people and whoever joins is going to be welcome and we're going to have a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to the day when we have somebody joining us in what we're doing and telling us their intentions and their commitments. It'll be sweet.
Yeah, yeah. I have some friends that are ready to hop on once we get this a little more established. But I think once we start bringing in people, it's gonna be so great. We can create like like just like an intentional community that's surrounded or that's based on this accountability that we're presenting. I think it's so valuable.
Yes, yes, we will, no
So let's
doubt.
dive into it. What
So
uh,
let's
what's share a little bit about what came up for you this past week.
yeah, yeah. So intention for me was to do breath work, exercise each day from the time we had that video until this video. And the second thing was I set a commitment to do no alcohol, no drinking alcohol for 45 days. The alcohol thing started on June 15th, and I've been good on my word with that one. Uh, Not a huge challenge around that one this week, just because I was staying in my house. Like I said, Sniggy doesn't drink, my wife doesn't drink, so not a lot of pressure for me. And when I have the intention, then it wasn't radically difficult to stay away from that. The real challenges will come for me like around July 4th and when I'm going camping with friends or just out at the bars or when I'm playing a gig. I have a gig with my brother, our music thing on the 10th, and then another one on July 25th. So those are the times when it's like out in the social setting and I just want to have a drink, have a beer.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, good on that. So and I'm feeling good. I always do. I can say that I never regret not drinking. Like when I wake up in the morning, I'm always like, there's never a regret. Like, oh, I wish I drank last night. Like that's never happened to me. So so all good there. So the second thing, the breathing exercise. So what I did was I've done the Wim Hof power breathing before, but only for like maximum of 3 rounds. So I decided to do this every single day. So doing it more consistently and take it to 4 rounds every time. I'm gonna share the video that I've been doing. It's free. It's on YouTube. You don't need the Wim Hof app or anything. You can just use this video. That's what I've been doing. Is just recycling this same video on YouTube every single day. It's like 17 or 18 minutes and you're done. But bro, it is 17 to 18 minutes of intensity and state changing. I mean, stuff gets real. Like we talked a little bit about it before. I'm sure some people are familiar. Wim Hof's a famous guy. You know the cold exposure and the breathing, but man, it is. And I know you have some experience with breath work as well, so you know some of what I'm talking about. But this one's very heavily focused on, you keep building up through the rounds until you're able to hold your breath for progressively longer periods. And for me, um, after this last one yesterday, I actually haven't done it today, so I'm going to do it later. But um, I thought about squeezing it in before this session to come in the post breathwork state, but time ran out on me. But anyway, the last one yesterday, man, it was just got me so much. I almost passed out. The last couple times I almost passed out. So yeah, very very wild experiences, man. Very for me elevating and getting some distance from the emotions and just learning a lot about what happens when your body blows off the CO2, becomes alkaline. It changes your whole mood. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Do you plan on continuing it here on out?
Yeah, actually, I do. I plan on continuing it. That kind of leads into the next intention for me. What I came here today to set for the next week and maybe even longer, which is getting into the presence process by from Michael Brown, which you introduced me to. So there's a breathwork component to that. So that's what I'm going to be learning about. But yeah, the Wim Hof breathing is, like I said, man, I'm recycling this video. So the experience is quite predictable, and I freaking love what I get out of it. Like it's very, um, it's almost like taking a cold shower in the sense that like there's some intensity to it and there's some discomfort to like the breath holding and stuff. So it's good for building the discipline of doing something that like makes me uncomfortable every day. And then there's this huge payoff in the end that's like very pleasurable and I get that like detached feeling. But what I'll be transitioning into is something different. You know, the this presence process is about holding space for your emotions and processing emotions and using that to come to a greater present moment awareness. So a lot to learn there, but and we can talk a little bit more about that. But I want to stop there because I've said a lot, and I'd like to hear about your experience with the intentions that you said from last week.
Yeah, man, for sure. Yeah. Um, yeah, so I mean, my intentions right now are pretty damn boring. I mean, they're very foundational. It's just where I'm at in life. And, I don't give a fuck. It just is what it is. And as I start to really build this foundation, this is going to get really fun and wild. The more I'm able to, the more I'm ready to really explore some uh, fringe cases or like strong boundaries that I have. Um, but yeah, as far as my intentions, I mean, it's very basic. Just going to bed, waking up at the same time was number one. Number two was, I think I said it in the last chat, was, 30 minutes or right before bed and right when I wake up, I'm going to be devoting my time to learning about visionary work, manifestation, and visualization and actually practicing it. So right now I'm reading through all of Neville Goddard's books, and I'm also spending probably like 15 minutes or so in meditation around um, visualization, imagination, the work that he describes and that most manifestation coaches or visionaries talk about. So those were the two main things I really focused on, and it built out into other structures. But what I'll say on those two is, I mean, waking up and going to sleep at the same time, as mundane and robotic as it might sound, it takes time to really adjust your body. Especially if you've been traveling, like I've been traveling, or changing the seasons. It really takes some time to like for it to click. 'Cause especially in the summertime when you have a very nice temperature to sleep in, it's kind of tricky to wake up at that early alarm clock. So towards the tail end of the week, my body has just like fully started to switch over. And I mean, dude, this is what I'm going to be doing this, indefinitely. I'm going to continue to follow this sort of guideline as the weeks progress on. This isn't something that's a weekly commitment. This is going to be, lifetime almost. So definitely at first, kind of, I would snooze the alarm clock. I wouldn't like fully go back to sleep, but I would just like close my eyes for a little bit and look at my clock again and be fucking an hour later. You know, time goes mad quick in those scenarios. So yeah, so just still my body's still getting used to it, but I will say it's like once I established this, the flow for my day in the morning and night, oh, I felt so good. And the one thing I really found interesting was because I talked about how I kind of just framed how night and day and they're important. Like when I get ready for bed at night, it's like, yeah, like I tell myself, okay, now it's time to let go. Now it's time to rest. And I really feel that in my body now. Like I'm actually acknowledging that, okay, this is the time where I can just actually let go of all the bullshit that's happening in my life, all the, nonsense that may have happened during the day, and just clock out and just rest. It's really nice to just allow ourselves, allow our mind, our body, our spirit to just be like, okay, time to let go. I'll wake up in 8 hours and I'll be back on it. So that's been a blessing. And then the flow that's come from this sort of uh, patterning has been quite nice. And then the manifestation work is quite powerful as well. I mean, that's going to be a whole nother conversation we'll have at some point here. But to be able to spend at least some part of our days in the awareness of that which we desire to call into our lives, it's it's essentially like developing that target or that aim that you are going towards. It's just so essential. So it's really helped with just the flow of my days, making me recognize and tie the actions that I'm doing throughout the day that to that aim. Um, and it's quite beautiful. Like when you go into the imaginary state or the visualization state, you're essentially quantum leaping into a different reality that at some point in life we are anticipating is going to actually be our physical reality. So you're able to experience the emotions and the energy that you would if you were in that state in the present moment. So it's quite profound. Um, yeah, so that's kind of my recap from the past week. Um, so let's dive now into what this week entails for the both of us.
Yeah, dude, beautiful insights. I love that. I love that you follow through, you go through the you went through the hard times of yeah, like you look at your alarm and it's all of a sudden it's an hour later. Like I've done that as well, for sure. So
And I'll say
yeah, dude,
one
I
thing.
love those.
I'll say one thing that popped up with that. It's like when that's happened, the outside world has presented things where I'm like, fuck, I wish I woke up when I said I was going to actually get up and out of bed because if I wait that extra hour, Jerry behind the neighbors fucking mowing his lawn and weed whacking at 7:30 or whatever, and it's like, damn, like I'm meditating right now. I'm like, shut up. Um, so there is such a powerful aspect about waking up early before the whole damn world wakes up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, let's dive into to what's coming next. Like I said, dude, for me, presence process. Michael Brown, this guy. So I wasn't aware. I hadn't heard of him before. So he wrote this book a while back. Looks like around 2010, and he's been doing some like conferences and seminars and disseminating this message, this practice. But for him, it's more than a practice. It's also a knowledge base, and it's something that you can. It's not just something you do, but it's a way that you can learn to be. It's not just this practice that you do like one time a day. It's kind of like learning a knowledge base and then transforming the way that you relate to the present moment and the emotions. I mean, I've watched, maybe a couple hours of content on YouTube, just him giving speeches to various audiences in various places. Um, I think the next step for me will be to read the book. So he's got it. It's on Audible as an audiobook. So that's going to be my commitment is to get this book on Audible. I have some credits, so it's free. It's free for me. I think I have a few stored up because I haven't bought one, used a credit for a while. And with Audible, I think every month you get a free one. So when it accumulates up to like six. So anyway, I have one. So I'm gonna get it and listen to that and start learning more about this process and then integrating it. And yeah, in one of the videos, he was actually in multiple ones. He was recommending this is something that you do for 40 days. So that was his take is that it's something that you really need the repetition. You need the consistency. It's not something that's going to be effective after a week or two. So I'm very curious to get into this. Yeah, man, I'm drawn to it because that's an area where I'm weakest. Um, for sure, for all my life. Growing up in my family, we didn't talk about emotions. Emotions are something that we just implicitly we push out of the way so we can get more important things done, and that's kind of how I've operated. That's been my modus operandi ever since I became an adult. Is to yeah to carry on that tradition of not talking about my emotions, not really like fully getting into my emotions, just being productive no matter what I'm feeling, no matter what's going on in there, just keeping that down or pushing it aside so that I can get things done. Um, so yeah, I've started to become more and more aware of how important it is, and I did learn a practice in the past, core transformation by Connie Ray Andreas. Great book. One way of engaging with the emotions, and it's been useful for me. But now I'm being drawn towards presence process, and I think it'll be to yeah bring it up a level for me to engage with my emotions. At the least, I will learn a lot and have some very interesting experiences. Because yeah, honestly, man, it scares me like to to really get deep into emotions. But I think there's a lot of energy and there's a lot of juice waiting on the other side of that can be added into my life. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, yeah, there's a lot to be said there, man. Well, first, my question is, what can you quantify as the intention here for this coming week?
Yeah, that's the question. So for me, we'll be learning for at least 1 hour every day about this process. Whether that's reading the book, watching more videos. As soon as I learn exactly what is this practice, which I still I haven't really learned what the practice is. Then that's going to be my intention is to do the practice.
So, yeah, yeah, the book is great, and it's actually inspiring me to consider hopping on there or hopping into the book again because when I actually did it last was at the what I would term the beginning of the cycle that I just kind of came out of. So I'd be keen to hop into it again. Um, got this got this guy out here that spraying all this God knows what chemicals on the grass. Uh, so
Oh
I
boy,
might need to hop on inside, but we'll see. If it's too loud, let me know. Um, but
good
the
right
other
now. Yeah,
thing, what's that?
you're good right now.
With the emotions, it's oh, dude, that's a whole world to dive into. The one thing I'll say is like what I've been learning is emotions open us up to our feelings. Obviously, they're kind of interchangeable, and our feelings is what binds uh, our desires, essentially. Our thoughts. Combining the two is like what fuses them together and brings them into reality. So by opening up our emotions it kind of opens up our bandwidth to experience life. But it is a slippery slope, especially for men. But I'll leave it there because that's a whole conversation that we can get into. But I'd be very interested to see what comes up for you over the next week because it's an essential topic. It's an essential thing to explore, but it's also tricky, can be tricky. So cool.
Yeah.
So presence process for Jeff this week. Sit. I love Michael. Um,
Yes, sir.
so for me, basic mundane shit still. I'm still in the foundational stage here. So one thing that kind of sparked my interest was, dude, we spend a third of our life sleeping. Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Third of our life is devoted to sleeping. We are essentially stationary for 8 hours of a day. And um, second, so air is the first thing we need to live. You know, if we lose air supply, we die. Secondary to that is actually sleep, from what I learned. It it beats out food and water. So if you go sleep deprived, I don't know what the limit is. And I don't even know how that would really work because I feel like your body would just like shut off and like no matter where you are, automatically go into this sleep. But I heard it, and that's what I learned this past week was it's actually the thing you would die from before lack of food or water. So I've been interested. I've been diving into sleep more. So the one thing that I'm really curious about, and they're also connected to one student in a college class. He did a study on this, and the study was on sleeping postures and also how it correlates to emotions and kind of what psychological state you're in. You know, fetal position, sleeping on your stomach, sleeping on your back. And I've just always been drawn, and I think the most rational way to think about it, or the most logical way to think about it, is in a healthy way, is that sleeping on the back seems the most proper, right? Especially if we're sleeping 8 hours a day. Um, if you think about gravity, you know, it's just like not like gravity does all the work, and when you're on your back, everything's open. If your arms are open, all your muscles are able to relax and whatnot. But in all the other positions, and what I've found for myself, it's like if I'm sleeping on my side, you know, like my arms are tucked in, I'm contracting muscles and whatnot, and my lungs are more collapsed in. So I'm intending to reteach my body to sleep on my back as much as possible with my arms open, my heart open, everything open. And yeah, that's one weird and I guess just kind of boring sort of intention that I have for this week. And also, that's something that I'm just trying to reprogram my body. And the other thing is, I'm not gonna, you know, I'm gonna set like, I don't want to eat within like a 2.5 to 3 hour window before bed. I don't feel like it's good for the body to be digesting food when you like eating right before you go to bed. And I want to learn about these two. So I'm gonna spend I haven't set a time, but I want to learn and I want to, you know, maybe in our next chat I'll bring back some more scientific information around those two areas.
Dude, actually really fascinating. So, I mean, it's part and parcel of the human experience. I'm one of these nerds that like looks at time and like I've broken it down 168 hours in a week and then you spend 56 hours sleeping. Hopefully, if you sleep 8 hours every night, you're getting good rest. So there's only 112 waking hours in a week. You get 16 waking hours in a day. So sleep is hyper fucking important. Uh, but I'm super, yeah, dude, I'm fascinated by the idea. I mean, how do you train your body to sleep on your back? How do you do it?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just been like I have to push myself to the edge of actually feeling super tired because usually when I get there, I'll roll over. But just going through that barrier and just like, no, be like, no, I'm staying here until I knock out. And then that's generally when I
Dude,
get the deepest sleep.
Yeah, so I'm the same as you. It makes just like rational sense to sleep on my back. I've always thought that it's like the most natural posture, and I feel good when I'm lying on my back. I always start there, and then at some point I normally turn over, and I've even got a big 6 foot body pillow as tall as me that I like, put my elbows and my knees around, and so yeah, I got that because I got used to side sleeping. Like at some point during the night, I got used to turning over. But I feel you, the contractions and the different body positions. So yeah, it really like thinking about sleeping on the back like all night. It's like very much like a surrendered position. Like it goes hand in hand with the restfulness and like the letting go that can happen in the night. Like you're not doing anything. You're just letting the healing take over. You're letting life take over and rest is washing over you. Like instead of like the more contracted, like you're still holding on to something. You're still like, this is just coming up for me. I never really thought about that, but it does make sense.
Yeah, beautiful. Well said. That's exactly what kind of came to mind for me.
Dude, fascinating. Yeah, I like this. I like these intentions, and I wish you the best and good adventures in exploring these things over the next week. Now I'm pumped for Wild Wednesday 3. I'm already excited for it, and we haven't even finished this one.
Yeah, man, I have like, I have so many things that I want to be doing. It's just like, oh, I'm super stoked. It's like my book is full. I'm booked out for the next few years.
Dude, same as you. That's what I love about this is a good forcing mechanism to make me choose one of the many things that are on my plate and to say like I'm gonna pick one because I can't intend to do everything. Like we can't come in here and say we're going to do 5 things. That's just not reasonable. So it's a good forcing mechanism because then I have to ask myself, what do I think is worthy to put on here and share with you and Brant and the larger community? Like it's a good way to ask myself, well, like what's worthy? Like what's worth like having that spotlight and that accountability like so yeah, it's very useful to help me do that, and then of course to follow through because I want to talk about what I learned, what happened. So
Yeah, I think
it's good
that's
shit.
like first. It's just like we said in the first chat. We're kind of just, like laying the bricks of life here. Because once you kind of get in the routine of these intentions, they become natural. They become second nature. Uh,
Oh, dude, I can tell you, I've been waking up at 6 and going to bed at 10 for years. That's my way, and that single thing has been really, as you say, foundational in my life. That's a key for me. Yeah.
yeah, and the platform we have right here to then reflect on it is like another down. It's like the most essential download of it, and it's lacking in our society in so many ways. But it's so important to learning. It's what we kind of do in classrooms. Um, we study a subject and we come back and talk about it in class and take a test on it. It's kind of what we're doing here a little bit. We're really downloading the information that we're setting out to learn or to apply, and then coming back and by talking about it, like setting it in stone.
Yes, absolutely, dude. Being able to discuss it in depth and distill it deepens the insights. It does. That deepens the practices for
Yeah,
sure. Awesome,
yeah,
man. I
this is
love it.
awesome, dude. So again, if anyone listening out there wants to reach out and hop on this, feel free. Get in the comments and just say what should we tell them to say? Say I'm in, and we'll reach out to you.
Yeah, yeah, just say I'm in. That's all you got to do. We want you on here. If you've got a good intention and you want to join in, don't be shy. Jump in.
Yeah, and it doesn't whatever intention it is. I mean, like I said, my shit is boring right now, and that's okay. We want to have diversity here. And boring actually, underneath the surface has deep complexity and can be quite intriguing. Like you just got pretty intrigued by my talking of sleeping on the back. So there's levels to this.
Yes. All right, man. Let's wrap it up.
Sounds
Thanks
good, bro.
again.
We will be on another podcast this Monday, so keep an eye out for that.
Yes, indeed.
Ciao, y'all.
See you on Monday. Peace.